Yeah, shalom, shalom, yashala. Children of Israel, nation of Israel, scattered throughout the diaspora. You know, I've decided to put this little class together to see if I can edify as many of our people as we possibly can in this time, because it's a very, very serious times that we're living in. But one of the key things that I have understood is that we actually don't know who we are as a people. So when it comes to the Torah, the Tanakh, you're not going to see yourself in it. And if you do not see yourself in it, then you really won't make sense of it, to be honest, because you don't see yourself in it. So the aim today is to see if I can actually run you guys through a few verses and see if we can establish your nationality, nationhood, you see, because this is not something that is determined by place of birth or skin tone. It is a bloodline, basically. Yeah. But we'll get into all that. But for the moment, what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can run you guys through seeing yourself within these scriptures and actually coming to the understanding that you are actually an Israelite by blood of Christ. Yeah. So I think the best place to start would be Deuteronomy 1:1. So let's go have a look at Deuteronomy 1:1 and say, let's see if we can, establish some facts from there. Right. Deuteronomy chapter 1:1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel on this side Jordan in the wilderness, in the plains over against the Red Sea, between Paran and Tophel and Laban and Hazaroth and Adishahab. That's literally just telling you speaker, context. You get the audience, you get the speaker, and we get the context. Right? So the context is Moses speaking these words unto the children of Israel. The children of Israel, they are the audience. Moses is the speaker. So the first thing we have to establish from there, just as we start in Deuteronomy, is that Moses is speaking to the children of Israel, no one else, because this is not a universal thing. This is very inclusive. This is Moses about to pass on the words of God, the laws, statutes of God, unto the children of Israel. This is what becomes our history, heritage, and our culture once we actually live and breathe it. You see? Right. So again, we've just got context, we have got audience, and we have got the speaker. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go to Deuteronomy 28, and we're going to break through that a little bit to give a little more understanding on what is happening here. Right. Now we're going to start from the top in Deuteronomy 28 verse 1. It says, And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations that are upon the earth. So, broken down, this is saying, if you listen to the Most High God diligently and do his commandment, he shall hold the nation of Israel on high above all the nations that are upon the earth. So there is no equality. There is no equality. There is an order to things. In the table of nations, the Israelites are at the top. We can go a lot into that, but let's just stick with the point that I'm trying to make. So, and it shall come to pass, if thou hearken diligently, listen diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord God will set thee on high above all nations on the earth. If you're above everybody on the earth, they're not equal to you. Right, let's move on. So we're going to go to stay in the book of Deuteronomy. I'm just going to skip over, step back a little bit to 7 and 6, just to prove that point a little bit further. Because as we say, as it says, precepts must be upon precepts. So we haven't got to go far. We only go to Deuteronomy 7 and 6. And what that says there is, again, it's pertaining unto the Israelites. It's the Israelites that are actually being spoken to. Right? So it says, 7 and 6 Deuteronomy. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. So Deuteronomy that we were just reading, 28 and 1, at the back end of it, the very same thing was said beforehand in Deuteronomy 7 and 6. I'll read it again. The Lord did not, Salakia. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. So again, like I said earlier on, from these two scriptures that we have read, there is no equality. The Israelites are indeed above all people that are upon the face of the earth. No one should take it as a disrespect. That's not what it is. The Most High has his order. The Most High is a balance. Whatever he does, it's a balance. Right, so let's go further into another precept. We're going to stay in Deuteronomy, but we're going to go to Deuteronomy 14 and 2 just to precept Deuteronomy 28 1 along with 7 and 6. So we need 14 and 2. Bear with me. Right, so Deuteronomy 14 and 2 reads, For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God, and the Lord hath chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself above all the nations that are upon the earth. We actually just read that. We just read that in Deuteronomy 7 and 6. It's the very same thing that was said really in the back end of Deuteronomy 28 and 1. You see? So let me run that back again. That was Deuteronomy 14 and 2, which precepts Deuteronomy 7 and 6, and the back end of Deuteronomy 28 and 1. So we're going to go over now to 2 Corinthians chapter... No, let's not go there, Salakia. Let's go to Leviticus 20 and 6 and 26 first. So we stay in the Old Testament. That's Leviticus 20 verse 26. Verse 26. And ye shall be holy, and ye shall be holy unto me, for I the Lord am holy, and have severed you from other people, that ye should be holy. So again, the audience here is Israel. It's Moses speaking to the Israelites, breaking down the law. And here he is again saying the very same thing that was said in Deuteronomy. And ye shall be holy, separate, set apart, peculiar unto me, for I, the Lord, am holy, and have severed you from other people, that ye should be mine. So the Israelites have been severed from all the other people that are upon this earth. So we are not the same. Yes, we are people, but we are not the same. We have been chosen by the Most High God. We are the servants of the Most High God. And we are above everyone that is upon the face of this earth. I keep saying we, but then let me get in more into Deuteronomy And from there, I believe I should be able to show you yourself within the scriptures, because it ties in a lot with our own history that they themselves, the red dirty boy, has taught us. Right? So let's go back to Deuteronomy, and we're going to start from 28 and 2. Salakia. And all these blessings, this is Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 2. And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken, listen unto the voice of the Lord thy God. Verse 3. Blessed shalt thou be in the city, blessed shalt thou be in the field, blessed shall be the fruit of thine body, and the fruit of thy ground, that mean the children and whatever you grow, and the fruit of thine cattle, the offspring of them cattle, increase in kind and flocks of thy sheep. Blessed shall be thy basket, thy store. Blessed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and blessed shalt thou be when thou goest out. The Lord shall cause thine enemies that rise up against thee to be smitten before thy face. They shall come out against thee one way, and flee before thee 7 ways. So this first bit here is really just going into the blessings that the Most High would put upon the nation of Israel if they were to be compliant to his commandments, if they would do them, right? But we're not going to stay here. We want to go down to verse 15 onwards, because there are things there that associates to the people of Israel, which you could use and deduce through a process of elimination who the biblical Israelites are today, because it's history. So let's jump to verse 15, and from verse 15 it says, But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken, again, if you do not listen. Earlier on it was saying, if you listen, you'd be blessed. Now it's saying, if you do not listen. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. A curse is not a good thing, as everyone should know. A curse is a bad thing. So this will be bad things happening to us as a people, because we are not conforming to the ways and laws of the Most High God. Verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the cities, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. I'm in UK right now, and I was never born here. I was born in Jamaica, as them call it, yard. And we curse everywhere. I left there, come here, we still curse here. I've got brothers all over this earth right now that I'm in contact with, and it's the very same thing when it comes to our people. It doesn't matter which city, it doesn't matter which town, it doesn't matter where it is. We are cursed as a people. We are not in any good condition in the cities, anywhere on the earth. That's the first one. And cursed shall thou be in the fields. What's that talking about? Cursed in the fields. That sound like cotton picking. That sound like sugar cane chopping. That just sound like total labor in the field. And if it is a curse, it means you're basically stuck in this situation. It is not a good thing. You really don't have to look far in history to find a people that was cursed in the fields. It's your own people. You were cursed in the fields. Verse 17. Cursed shall be thy basket, thy store. Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body. Earlier on we were reading, it was saying, blessed shall be the fruit of thine body, and I mentioned that was your children. Now it's saying, cursed shall be the fruit of your body, so your children are going to be cursed. And the fruit of thy land, so even say you were into farming for some reason it just won't be progressive, and you can't figure out why it's not being progressive, but you don't really realize that you are under these curses, which is what's hampering you from getting that success, while everybody else puts seed in the ground and it flourish. You've seen this happen. It's happened to me. The increase of thine kind and the flocks of thy sheep. Verse 19. Cursed thou shalt be when thou comest in, and cursed shalt thou be when thou goest out. So, just to leave your house, so-called black man, just to leave your house, it's a risky business because you might not get back in. Anything can happen to you, unlike every other nation on the face of the earth. And that's facts. That is facts. 20. The Lord shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke in all that thou settest thine hand unto. That's just telling you that we're going to have a hard time. And that's putting it mildly. We're going to have a very, very hard time. Again, so far I've gone nowhere in these scriptures yet. But yet, this already relates to us as a people. Right. So I'm going to jump down to about 25. Let's go find verse 25 from there. Verse 25. The Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them and flee 7 ways before them. Again, earlier on in regards to the blessings, this was saying that it is your enemies that are going to be fleeing from you. Total role reversal. So now you're the one running for your life. Just running for your life because you cannot stand against your enemy. Why? Because the Most High is not with us. Because we did not hearken. We did not listen to what we were told. Slakia, let me read that again from top 25. The Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. Thou shalt go one way against them and flee 7 ways before them, and shall be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. Which is exactly what has happened to us. Because we could not stand in the face of our enemies. So we basically went into captivities. Literally just went into captivity throughout the earth, into all these other nations and all these other kingdoms. 26. And thy carcass shall be meat unto all fowls of the air, and unto the beast of the earth, and no man shall fray them away. The first time I read that, I was thinking of a nigger hanging on a tree. Just swinging on a tree for days on end, or wherever else they used to do to us. So the fowls of the air and the beast of the earth, just do whatever they want to do to your dead carcass. This is us. This is us. And this is actually more recent history. This is still actually more recent history. Our people don't have to think too hard for this to pop up in their minds. 27. The Lord will smite thee with the botch of Egypt, and with the hemorrhoids, and with scab, and with the itch whereof thou canst not be healed. Our people suffer from all sort of sickness. We don't even have to go into that too much, but it's the truth. Our people suffer from all kind of sickness. And here the Most High is making you know that the itch and the botch and all of them, you know, them things that was already in Egypt, you're still going to suffer with them things. You know. Right, so we're going to jump down to 28, 29. The Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. I see that with my people on the daily. Wherever you go, you see our people just, it's like they're in limbo most of the time. They haven't a clue what's going on. They're genuinely lost. They're genuinely smitten with madness. They've got no sense of self. They genuinely are lost. Most of our people, not all, most of our people, and some seeking. But again, when you read that, that's talking about our people. Verse 29. And thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways. and thou shalt only be oppressed and spoil evermore, and no man shall save you, because no man can save you. It's Yahushai, the Most High and his son, Yahushai, is the only one that's gonna save us, right? We can't be saved by mortal flesh. That is not the case for us. But again, in regards to what I was saying earlier on about our people are blind and smitten with madness, verse 29 tells you that they'll be groping at noonday. It's basically saying the same thing. It's a heck of a confusion with our people on a mental level. Yeah? So we go down to verse 30. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. And thou shalt build a house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Thou shalt plant vineyards, and shalt not gather the grapes thereof. Again, that takes us straight into the little slave trade, Pacific slave trade that they got going on recently. Again, that's why I says recent history. That's like the other day ago. Let's not forget, it's just the other day ago, right? And this is basically saying that a man shall betroth a wife, and another shall sleep with her. Of course. When you jump the broom, when you're in slavery on plantation, and you jump the broom and you say, this woman is my wife, for anyone that don't know, just go research it. Massa or his son jump up in your wife before you. As and whenever. So you say it's your wife, but another man just, do what he want to do with your wife. And you have to work with that car. What else are you going to do? You ain't got no power in your hand, have you? See? Again, who is that talking about? Which nation of people suffered this? (32) Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people. Again, we don't have to look far. It's the very same plantation we're on. When you do get a child, as soon as it gets to a certain age, what does Master do? He sells it to his brethren down the road and give it as a gift to his uncle or to even his own child. He give your child to as a gift. Yeah? So at the end of the day, thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand. This means, if you've ever seen Roots, when Massa sell Kizzy, see Kunte and the mother ball, what else could they do but cry? Did it stop Kizzy from getting sold? No. Did the parent have any power in their hand? No. Could they stop anything? No. Who are we talking about here? We're talking about us. This is the reason why we have not got our names, and we have got the names of the dirty red boy. That is why. And that was Deuteronomy 32. Let me go back over that again. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand. Yeah. And if we jump down a little bit now to verse 36, it says, the Lord shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, and there shalt thou serve other gods. Wood and stone. We know what wood and stone is, what it represents today in regards to other gods, in regards to religion. You're talking about Christianity and you're talking about Islam. In Christianity, the wood is the cross. In Islam, it's the stone, in the Kaaba stone that they tend to circle around in Mecca, and everybody try to kiss. That's idolatry. That's what is written right here. You are going to end up serve other gods. God, not of your father. Because remember now, we are a nation of people who had our own history, own culture and heritage. And we are the one who God deals with, as he is the true and omnipotent, the true and living God, is the God of Israel. All the other nations are idolaters. We can go into that in the next class, but let's keep moving. Let's jump down to verse 41. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity. We just read that a while ago when I was giving the example with Kizzy from Roots, verse 32. That's the very same thing here. You cannot enjoy your kids because they go into captivity as soon as they're born. That means they get shipped off to Master Tom down the road or wherever. And that's the end of it. You never see them again and you can't do nothing about it. That's literally what you're reading here. You're reading your history. This happened to you. Them that come before you. Them that you come from, or say came from. Your people, your stock, your bloodline, your pedigree. The people of God. Why did this happen? Well, we have not hearkened. We did not listen. Let's go further. Let's jump down to 45. Moreover, all these curses, and remember the curse is not a good thing, these curses, they're bad. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest, listened not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. So you see, it's still going back into what I'm saying. We have not been listening. We have not taken heed. We did not keep these laws. So now we are having to suffer the curses that comes with this law. Because this is our covenant that we are in breach of. This is our agreement that we are in breach of. And even today in modern society, if you have an agreement, whatever it may be, and you have got a contract, if you keep up with the contract, it's all good. But if you falter on it, I'm sure that there are clauses there that are going to bring what is referred to as, say, punishment. Whether you got to pay extra money, whether you got to pay a fine because you never did keep up with your payment. Whatever it is, you breach your contract. So we've breached our contract, so now we're taking the punishment that goes along with this contract. And that's these curses. But again, I'll get to it in a second. Let's not jump the gun. Slack here. All right, getting a little bit excited there. Right, all right. Verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign. That's these curses that I've just mentioned. And they shall be upon thee for a sign. What is a sign? If you're in town and you want something to eat, and you don't know where to go to eat, you'll see a sign that tells you food is in this place here. Yeah? So it's a form of a marker. It's a form of a marker that tells you, okay, what something is. But this is saying, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder. Yeah, because we'll be amazed. So does everybody. Everybody else will be amazed at what's really going down. Upon thy seed forever. So I'll read that again, 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. What shall be upon them? The curses. That's what's going to be the sign. These curses. So the people that these curses are upon are the children of Israel. Remember now, Moses is speaking to the Israelites here. He's telling them what is going to befall them if they break these laws. And here he is now also telling them that these curses shall be upon their seed for a sign. And it'll be there forever. That means you can't shake it. So if your spirit resonates with these scriptures, if you see yourself within these pages, because this is our history. No two ways about it. This is our history. If you see yourself in here, there goes that sign. That's the sign. And what is it telling you? It's telling you you're an Israelite. Because the Most High God did not tell no Jamaican this. He didn't tell no Black American this. He never tell no West Indian this. He never tell no black man this. We told this. He told this to the nation of Israel. So if at all this fits with you, now you know your identity. You are a child of God. Yasha Allah, Prince of the power. That's who you are. So that's you now seeing yourself within the scripture. But let's go further. Jump down to 48. Therefore, shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger. If you're hungry, where do you get your food? Even if you go to the shop to purchase it, them that own the shop gets it from somewhere. It is your oppressor that you get this from. Whatever you get, it is your oppressor that you gets it from. You provide none of it for yourself, right? So in hunger, you serve your enemy. In thirst, if you want water, you serve your enemy. Whether it's buying a bottle of water, whether it's paying for the water that comes through your tap, it's the same oppressor that is actually the one that you're serving, because you have to pay them for whatever needs. And in nakedness, again, in the garments that you wear, even these that I'm wearing, it's not like our people made these things. It's still our oppressor we have to turn to forget even the clothes that go on our backs. And in want of all things, whether you need a passport, a driver's license, even some education, even when you're dead, your people are going to have to go get death certificate from this red dirty boy. Let's move on, I digress. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. They can't destroy us physically. We're stronger than that. It's a mental thing. Like, for example, not knowing who you are today and just walk around and call yourself from the, a color from a crayon box sort of thing. Yeah? All right. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, and as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understood. Basically, when these people came upon us, we didn't understand their languages, and the truth is they never come from near. They came from far. Like, for example, how would a Gadite, what would a Gadite think these people come from when they were coming across the ocean? They never come from near. They came from far off. They didn't speak the language either. You didn't know what they were saying. Yeah, that's what you're getting from this one. Again, it is us. This happened to us. And even if you're thinking about West Africa, where we were at one time, it's still the very same thing. We did not understand what these people were saying, and they came from far. Yeah? All right, let's move on. Jump down to... Let's do 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far and from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle, and flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. Yeah? A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young. Well, they never showed no favor to our people at all, whether it be the old man or whether it be the babe or the old woman. There was no mercy shown, because these people have a fierce countenance. Basically, they are wicked. Wicked. Yeah? But with that, I'll come back at some point, and I'll finish breaking it down for you. Hopefully that bit so far has piqued your